So we're talking about Rosh Hashanah, the new moon. So just as an introduction, so people remember, you see, since you weren't here, I say just 1 minute. On Rosh Hashanah, when you see the new moon, you go to the temple and to tell the people that it's a Rosh Hashanah. So at the time of the temple, you didn't do it just on Rosh Hashanah. You did it every month. Every month when you saw a new moon, you come to Yerushalayim and you tell them, I saw a new moon. You were a witness. After the destruction of the temple, it was only done twice a year, not on every month, on Nisan and on Tishrei. Like we said, because you need to establish the holidays from there. So that was in it. But at the time of the Beis Hamikdash, it was done every month. And you would mechalel Shabbos for it, which means you would walk outside of the Tchum, you would walk outside of the area of Shabbos. You were actually mechalel Shabbos for the idea. Okay, that's where we were last time. So we are Rosh Hashanah, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Zayin. Perek Aleph, Mishnah Zayin. So we said that you are mechalel Shabbos for sanctifying the moon. So let's see what's going to happen over here. כיוון שקידוש החודש תלוי בעדים, since the sanctification of the month has to do with witnesses, באה משנתנו והמשנה של אחריה, the next two Mishnahs, ללמד, come to teach us, אילו עדים פסולים לעדות החודש. What people we trust and what people we don't trust when it comes to sanctifying the moon. Not everybody we trust when he says, I saw the new moon. Even if he's tested and he got everything there, we don't even let him testify because we don't trust him. Okay? משנתנו דנה בעדים שהם קרובי משפחה. Our Mishnah are going to deal with witnesses that they are close family members. Close family members cannot give testimony. For example, a father and a son that saw a murder, right? They cannot give a testimony together. Why? Because they're close family members. Close family members are allowed to give testimony together. Av ubno שראו את החודש. What about a father and a son, though, that saw the new moon? Are they allowed to give testimony? Is it the same case as a murder case? Is it same case as monetary case, which they're not allowed to give testimony? Let's see. כלומר, את הלבנה בחידושה. They saw the new moon. So it says, ילכו שניהם לבית הדין להעיד. They should go together to be witnesses to Yerushalayim. In other words, they should mechal Shabbos. Both of them. So it says, what's the use of both of us? Anyway, you're not going to take our testimony because we are family members, and family members, you don't take testimony together. So why we should be both mechal Shabbos? It says you should both go mechal Shabbos. Why? לא שמצטרפים זה עם זה. Not because these two are going to combine one with another. Their testimony cannot combine because they're family members. לקדש את החודש על פי שניהם. You can never sanctify the moon according to both of their testimony. Like we said, we don't take testimony of close family. שהרי קרובים פסולים להצטרף לעדות אחת. Because people who are close family members, we do not enjoin to become one testimony. אלא, so why do they both need to mechal Shabbos? Only one of them. אלא שאם ייפסל אחד מהם. But the problem is that if one of them are going to be found pasul for another reason, for whatever other reason, we're going to discuss later what can be other reasons, yeah? At least the second one can join another guy that's coming. There's only one more guy that's coming, and if not both of them, you don't know which one is going to become pasul, so you should go anyway. אם ייכשל בפיו בשעה שיבדקו, if he's going to make a mistake in his mouth at the time that they will check him, ויש מפרשים אם יצא פסול, and there are those that are going to say, like we're going to see later on, if we're going to find that he cannot give testimony. Why? כגון שהוא גזלן, because he is considered to be a gazlan. A gazlan is somebody who, yeah, but a thief. Let's go into thief. We're going to see there's different kind of thieves, but he's the gazlan, yeah.
All those trucks on the side of the road that sell food, gazlan.
Okay.
Those food trucks.
Yeah, because gazlan. So therefore, הצטרף השני עם אחר. So therefore the other one can join with another guy to both of them give the testimony.
You have to do it anyway because they can't testify together.
That's right.
So they always have to.
So, but the question is, why should they both Mechal Shabbos? So
Right.
they both should Mechal Shabbos because one of them is not good, you can go the other one. Yeah. אם עד אחד, ועל פי עדותם הכשרה יקדשו בית דין את החודש. So you need both of them because you don't know which one the beit din is going to say, this guy is no good or that guy is no good. This is according to the Tanna Kama. That it says a father and a son may not testify on a case. Rav Shimon says, I disagree. But wait, when Rav Shimon says he disagrees, he doesn't disagree on witnesses. Two witnesses who are close family members, even according to Rabbi Shimon, cannot give testimony. He says, you're right, they cannot give testimony except here. Over here, when it comes to the new moon, we will allow them to give testimony. And we're going to see, what's the difference? Testimony is testimony. Why over here you trust them and nowhere else you trust them? So he's going to explain. Rabbi Shimon says, Avu bno, a father and a son, v'chol הקרובים, and all other family members. אף על פי שפסולים מהם להצטרף לכל עדות אחרת, even though we can never enjoin them for any other testimony, כשרים לעדות החודש, when it comes to sanctifying the moon, I'm going to make them kosher. Only in this case. Why? לקדש על פיהם את החודש, to sanctify the moon on their testimony. בגמרא מבואר טעמו. The Gemara explains his reasoning. שנאמר, because it says, look at the verse. Look at the verse where it discusses sanctification of the moon. What does it say over there? ויאמר השם אל משה ואל אהרון לאמור. And God talked to whom? To two brothers. He talked to Moshe and to Aaron to say, החודש הזה לכם. This month is to you, two brothers. ודרש רבי שמעון, and Rabbi Shimon says, why does it say it this way? Rabbi Shimon says, עדות זו של החודש, the Torah is telling you over here that the testimony of the month, כשרה היא בכם, it is kosher in you. Who is in you? In Moshe and Aaron. ואף על פי שאתם אחים, and even though that you are brothers. This is the way Rabbi Shimon reads the verse. Chachamim tells him, the sages are going to tell him, what are you talking about? That's not what it means. Beram Chachamim Dorshim, the sage says, that's not what it means. Why are you changing the words over here? HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem, this month is to you. It doesn't mean that they are the guys who give testimony. It means that you are responsible for the whole idea. The people are going to come to you to give the testimony. In other words, two brothers are allowed to sit in the court. That's what it means. It's not that it means that two brothers are allowed to be witnesses. It means that two brothers, you and Aaron, are going to be like the Sanhedrin, and people are going to come over to you, and they're going to testify what they saw. And you're going to decide if they're lying or not lying. That's what the to you, Bachem means. עדות זאת תהיה מסורה לכם לגדולי הדור כמותכם. That's what it means. It means that the people are going to come to you to bring the testimony to. שיקבלו את העדות ויקדשו את החודש. That you're going to accept the witnesses and you are going to sanctify the moon. And obviously halacha is like Chachamim, not like Rabbi Shimon, that two brothers are not accepted, neither a son or a father are accepted. In other words, if you cannot bring the witnesses in any other case, you cannot be a witness also in Kodesh HaChodesh. Amar Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi is going to give us a case. What's the case? Maaseh betuvia harofeh. This is an occurrence with Tuvia the doctor. There was Tuvia a doctor, שראה את החודש בירושלים. That he saw the new moon while he was in Yerushalayim. And what did Tuvia the doctor do? הוא ובנו ועבדו משוחרר. So you got three people over here. He's got him, his son, which is a problem, but he also had a slave, but he's not a slave over here. He's already being freed, which means he's a regular Jew now, right? He used to be a slave, but right now he's a regular Jew.
Maybe he's having Knani.
Yeah, משוחרר means that's it, he's free.
Well, not Jewish.
No, not Jewish, not allowed to be. משוחרר means that the Evet Knaani had to be circumcised. You're not allowed to keep
So
it. Every Eved Knaani Meshuchar.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be Jewish.
Every Eved Knaani Meshuchar is a Jew.
It's Jew.
Yeah, that's right. Every Eved Knaani Meshuchar is a Jew. So Meshuchar means he's a Jew to full. So all three of them are now going to Yerushalayim. Vekiblu HaKohanim. And now we're going to see something very interesting is going to happen. He comes to Yerushalayim. The Kohanim tells, you and your son come. They tell him, you and your son come in. Right? But him and his son are not going to be good. Right? But the Kohanim, in other words, the Kohanim push away the slave. They used to be slave. He says, you cannot come in. We don't want you here. You don't be a witness. You two come in. Kiblu HaKohanim, Beit Din shel HaKohanim, the house of the Kohanim, the judges of the Kohanim accepted, Oto ve'et bno, him and his son, ke'edim, ksherim, like kosher, says, you guys are kosher. In other words, they're going like Rabbi Shimon. The court of the Kohanim is going like Rabbi Shimon, that they accept the father and the son, not like the Chachamim. Vepaslu et avdo, and they say, but your slave cannot be a witness. Lefi shesvurim hayu, because they thought krovim ksherim le'edut hachodesh. They thought, like Rabbi Shimon, that we can bring to a father and a son for the testimony. Ve'ilu ha'eved, but he says the servant, even though he's a complete Jew, since he was a servant, afshu meshuchrar, even though we released him, pasul le'edut. He's not going to be accepted as a witness. Now, we're not going to go too much into it, but the Kohanim had a system of yichus. It says, yichus means not everybody is trusted. We don't trust everybody in testimony. You need to have yichus.
Since when?
Always.
Did you learn this?
I know you did not. Now you do. First time for everything. In other words, you say, if you're not a normal member of society, you need to be a normal member of society. We're going to see soon why.
You can't be a thief, now you have to be a meyuchas.
You have to be a Jew. You have to be have some kind of status, as we're going to see. By the way, it's not that strange. We're going to see in the couple more Mishnayos. It wasn't only that they pushed away the what do you call them? The slaves, the people who were slaves. Exactly. We're going to see. Well, I don't know about that, but we're going to see that there's a lot of people they pushed away. So they're pushing away the slave because you need to be a certain member of society in order to give testimony. You cannot be one of those, all the way in the bottom. That's good. Yeah, exactly. Lefi she'eino meyuchas, because he doesn't have a status. Yeah. But look what happens. So this is the Beit Din of the Kohanim. It's not the Sanhedrin. It's not the Sanhedrin. Uksheba'u lifnei Beit Din agadol, but when they came in front of the big Sanhedrin, the big Beit Din, kiblu oto ve'et avdo. Who did they accept the testimony of? They accepted the testimony of him and his slave. Etuvi ha'rofeh ve'avdo ke'edim ksherim. It says, you two we trust. Lefi she'edut ein tzrichim miyuchasim. Because the high Beit Din, they say, testimony does not require to be miyuchas. It doesn't require to have a yuchas. Upaslu et bno. And therefore they said to his son, you're not good because you're together with your father. Kshekrovim psulim, because close family members are not good. Militztaref le'edut. Va'afilu le'edut hachodesh. And even to the testimony of the month, kedat chachamim le'il. Like the sages says before. So we see an interesting thing. When you come, this is almost like a state rule and a federal rule in America. When you come to the Kohanim says, over here, Beit HaMikdash, we're the state. We can discuss we can have the rules of the state. In other words, we can have rules. And they can establish rules, and then though the Supreme Court comes and tells you, good state rule, stay with your state rule, but we can overrule you.
Yeah, like in Israel now.
Like in America. Yeah, exactly. Exactly the same thing. This is what's happening. It's a lower court that so-called belongs to the state, like almost that. And then the High Court comes and overrules. And says, it's like the High Court comes to Arizona and says, your law that you established is no good.
No good.
Yeah, it's exactly what's happening. An interesting thing, how even modern thing comes from...
Nothing changed.
Yeah.